Sophie, welcome to TRonblock.com. Now, as General Manager for Digital at L'Oreal, you really have an awful lot on your plate. I've been covering all the trending areas the business world is currently addressing: social media, e-commerce, sustainability, digital transformation in all its forms, and now, of course, the metaverse. Just trying to keep pace, even ahead of consumer behavior, is an art form today. Now, I think it's fair to say that for over 10 years, L'Oreal Group has been the category leader tackling these areas. And if I'm not mistaken, the company was also the very first in the category to appoint a chief digital officer. Last year, of course, L'Oreal announced that 50% of sales were expected to be generated via e-commerce platforms in time. Well, so much for the introduction. I'm really sorry it's been that long. And let's just start with the questions. Today, consumer engagement is, frankly, easier said than done. As a global company, you've been trying to achieve this by adopting a local approach, working with Alibaba and WeChat in Asia, and TripAdvisor for the travel retail channel. Now, could you please share some examples of these digital engagements and their results? Are they actually working?
The answer is yes, definitely. So very happy to share with you what we are doing. So at Travel Retail, we are really hacking the traveler funnel at every step of their journey, pre-trip, at the airport, and at destination, to drive consumer engagement on our brand along their entire travel journey. And to drive that consumer engagement, we are indeed leveraging digital media and social media all along the traveler journey. And just to give you a few examples of what we are doing, we are running precision advertising campaigns. We are doing online plus offline activation in a 360 mode on our brand during key travel moments like Lunar New Year, for instance, but also Golden Week for the Asian consumer, summer, which is a very important travel peak for the Western world, Christmas as well. And through those activations, we are leveraging digital media, but also media panels, hotels collaborations at destination, social apps. So we are really leveraging the whole digital ecosystem to engage those travelers along the traveler journey.
It's a very integrated mix then, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. But this is really the way to move forward to hack this traveler journey. And indeed, you have named a few partnerships that we have initiated this year, and which is really interesting is that we see great results on the business, and this traveler engagement is really contributing to breaking high records in terms of turnover for sure on our brands, but also in terms of brand love amongst consumers, helping us winning great market shares. So we really see great results generated by that activation. And we are also in a test and learn mode all the time. So we are re-challenging what we are doing based on the learnings of what we've done. So it's really something that is strategic to us.
So now, as a business, you really do have an extraordinary array of digital physical offers, of beauty tech services and experiences that offer consumers personalized, augmented experiences, all that is AI, virtual stores and pop-ups. Again, perhaps you can share some examples of these and their effectiveness and results.
Yes, for sure. Indeed, people need to feel and live the utmost beauty experiences. And beauty tech devices and services are the best way to contribute to augment and personalize the experience for the consumers. So this is the reason why we have started rollouting a beauty tech device and services in travel retail, both online and offline, with virtual try-on makeup on many of our brands like Lancôme, YSL, L'Oréal Paris, Chou et Moura, just to name a few, Armani as well. We have also started rollouting in travel retail AI skincare diagnosis and hair scalp diagnosis on many of our brands like Kiehl's, Vichy, La Roche-Posay, SkinCeuticals, and Kerastase, for instance. And which is really interesting is that when we look at the results, they are really effective because, in fact, people who have used the level of conversion amongst people who have used those beauty tech devices and services is twice to 3 times higher than usual average. So we can really see it contributes to driving sales beyond delivering very personalized routine and advice recommendations to the travelers. And in parallel to that, we have already and also started to more in a test and learn mode, but to experiment the first virtual reality pop-ups on L'Oréal Paris, some virtual shows on Armani, for instance, and YSL. And we have also just started the first experimentation in the metaverse with one of our retailers on Yves Saint Laurent. And of course, this is more in a test and learn mode. This one, we clearly need to learn and capitalize for the future. But the vision is there, and we are really pushing forward all those new tools because we believe that they are helping the consumer on a daily basis when it comes to purchasing on our brands.
Now, as the famous statistician Edward Deming once said, without data, you're just another person with an opinion. So in today's digitalized world, there can be little doubt that data is simply the new oil. How are you harnessing the gathered data points that you have to better enable your decision-making process?
Actually, data is a very strategic topic for us. And it is strategic for 3 reasons. The first one is better know our consumers who are traveling. The second reason is better engage those travelers when they travel on our brands. And the third reason is to be able to offer them personalized experiences based on that data. So in fact, when it comes to driving business efficiency, we need business data and marketing data. And for that, we are partnering with our retailers to have that visibility and that transparency and to be able to capitalize. And of course, there is also an important topic when it comes to data, which is the consumer data. And on that topic, more and more, we are leveraging the CRM database of our retailers, who are our partners, to capitalize on the knowledge they have of the consumer and be able to drive concrete action plan. And in parallel to that, we have just initiated very interesting partnerships with some Hainan retailers to collect consumer data on our brands, be able to reuse that consumer data when those travelers travel again to Hainan, knowing their history of purchase on our brands, either in travel retail or in China local market, and be able to increase the average basket, better serve the consumer in store. So it's a very virtuous and win-win circle, I would say. Win-win for the retailers, win for us, and of course, at the end, win for the consumer.
It's quite interesting, and just touching on the point you made earlier, I mean, retailers have traditionally been very shy in sharing their data. Are you seeing something of a cultural change amongst your retailer partners now?
Clearly. To be honest, at the moment, this change on consumer data is more coming from Asia, but we really this cultural change happening because I think they have understood the power of that data and the power and the value it can bring also to them by sharing that data with us. So we really see a great step forward, and progressively we are going to roll out this approach that we have started in Hainan. We are going progressively to roll out it across the world.
Now, of course, offline and online are like yin and yang. There's no question of the need for both. Yet with L'Oréal's declared targets to reach 50% of turnover via e-commerce, how are you setting about finding the right balance with your highly invested offline partners? I mean, we know, for example, we've seen recently that some of the major e-commerce businesses have been shedding staff because online has not kept the pace of acceleration that is achieved during COVID. There is a resurgence of people buying offline. So just answer the question, maybe.
Okay, so maybe before answering your question, I just want to add or bring a very important precision. L'Oréal as a group has not declared 50% of e-commerce sales being a target. Actually, the group believes that our sales could reach up to that target in the coming years if the e-commerce momentum continues at the same pace as it is today.
Okay.
So it's a very important precision I wanted to bring before answering your question. Now, when it comes to travel retail and e-commerce in travel retail, to answer specifically to your question, actually, the e-commerce business is operated by the same retailers as the one operating offline. So there isn't a trade-off between offline and online. These are the same partners for us, and we are trying to support them as best as we can on all the initiatives that they are entering. And the reality is that when it comes to e-commerce at the moment, e-commerce is becoming a very significant business in travel retail in Asia. And it has particularly accelerated over the past 2 years in Hainan. And probably the COVID situation has been also a kind of wake-up call and a game changer for them. But the reality is that in the Western world, on the other side of the oceans, we are just at the beginning of the digital transformation. And for sure we will, but I believe that it's going to accelerate big time in the coming years, and of course we will be there to support our retailers on all the initiatives they have.